Hi, welcome to the first lecture for this course. This one's called Introduction to Moral Theory. It's on Chapter 1 of your textbook. First, before we can get into our moral theories this semester, we're going to need some moral vocabulary to use to talk about them. First, we'll need what we call deontic concepts. These concepts describe actions. You've probably already used a lot of these before in your life. So some examples are right, wrong, obligatory, forbidden, permissible, impermissible, or optional. We also need our value concepts. These describe people and things. Some ways of describing value are things that have good or things that are good versus things that are bad, things that have positive value versus negative value, and things that have intrinsic value versus things that have extrinsic value. Let's clarify what intrinsic versus extrinsic value means. A thing has extrinsic value when it is useful as a means to some other end. For example, money has extrinsic value as a means for buying stuff that a person wants. That is, bills and coins are only valuable insofar as they can be traded for other things. Or another example is that alcohol has extrinsic value. It's a means to the other end of obtaining a pleasurable mental state. On the other hand, a thing has intrinsic value if it is good in itself or is necessarily good in every possible case. For example, some philosophers think that people or human life have intrinsic value. That is, a person is good or valuable regardless of whether she or he leads a happy life or can contribute to the economy. A person is good just because, in themselves. Other things which arguably have intrinsic value are pieces of art and other objects of beauty, well-functioning ecosystems, or having friends and family. Sometimes it's very controversial whether something has intrinsic value, extrinsic value, or both. Think about a college education. If you attend college because it will help you to get a job and earn more money, then you think your education has extrinsic value as a means to the end of getting a job. On the other hand, if you attend college because you think education is good for a person, even if he or she never gets a job, then you think that your education has intrinsic value. So, a good moral theory will give an account of both what actions are right and wrong, using the deontic concepts, and of what has moral value, using the value concepts. But why develop a moral theory in the first place? There are two aims of providing a moral theory. First, there's the theoretical aim. Moral theories try to explain the underlying nature of morality. That is, they try to give a theory of what morality is and how it works. For instance, is morality personal or societal? Are moral judgments and values timeless or ever-changing? Second, there's a practical aim of a moral theory. Moral theories can give us a decision procedure or a way of figuring out which actions are moral and immoral. In this capacity, we can use a good moral theory to help us decide how to lead our lives. However, not all moral theories are made equal. Some fulfill the two aims better than others. Mark Timmons, the editor of your book, has identified some helpful criteria that will be useful in evaluating the moral theories we study this semester. The first criteria is consistency. A moral theory should not issue deontic verdicts or make value ascriptions that conflict with each other, or ascriptions that are inconsistent. Determinacy. A moral theory should cover a wide range of actions, not leaving many moral questions with indeterminate answers. Applicability. A moral theory should be specified such that most normal humans can use it to arrive at moral judgments. It should not require unrealistic information or capabilities on the parts of moral agents. Internal support. A moral theory should issue verdicts that do not conflict with our considered moral beliefs, or the moral beliefs you already had before you ever took this course. External support. A moral theory should not conflict with information from other domains like psychology, economics, anthropology, etc. Explanatory power. A good moral theory contains some rationale for why its deontic verdicts and value judgments are as they are. The first three criteria concern the degree to which a moral theory fulfills its practical aim. The last three criteria concern the degree to which a moral theory fulfills its theoretical aim. You can read more detailed explanations of the criteria in your textbook on pages 9 through 13. Now, you have the concepts and vocabulary required to learn about some of the most influential moral theories produced by philosophers to date. If you had any difficulty understanding this lecture, you should post a question to the discussion board and/or review the reading in your textbook.